DNA from 4 American presidents to be launched into deep space.
The space burial company SealSteez is planning to include DNA from Presidents George Washington, Dwight Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, and Ronald Reagan on its Enterprise flight, which is planned for this year. According to Space.com, the company acquired authenticated hair samples from Louis Mushrow, a celebrity hair collector, which they've kept in a climate-controlled facility in advance of the space flight. But the presidents aren't the only famous passengers on Celestis Enterprise flight. The mission, which is set to fly 150 to 300 million miles into deep space and establish a solar orbit, will also carry DNA and cremated remains from a number of figures from Star Trek. So, why send the remains of American presidents and science fiction figures into space? For Celestial, it all comes down to DNA. In keeping with the idea that ancient DNA can tell scientists how we evolved, SealSteez explained on their site, the DNA of these presidents can tell future civilizations that may settle in deep space more about bygone American leaders and culture, even providing a sort of evolutionary map as to how the US started, under Washington, and flourished, under later presidents, including Eisenhower, Kennedy, and Reagan. The company sees DNA as data storage and the DNA of presidents and other figures in space as a cosmic time capsule. They hypothesize that future civilizations could discover the DNA in outer space, and use it as a way to understand the past, our present. According to their site, SealSteez has launched 17 missions since 1997. It helps facilitate memorial spaceflights in which families can put their deceased loved ones on a mission to the stars, instead of burying them in the ground. The presidents and Star Trek figures are not its only passengers, however. The Enterprise flight will carry a total of 200 flight capsules, according to Space.com, which will contain cremated ash remains, DNA material, personal messages and heartfelt greetings from international clients on an unforgettable voyage. This flight will indeed go into the history books, and thanks to the DNA presence of historical figures, the Enterprise flight's story won't just end with its entry into a solar orbit. Celestial wrote on its site.
If you like this video, make sure to